Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the World Away. New build date, special new build today. This is the world exclusive of the Agora models release of pack 1 of Build the G1 Optimus Prime. Now, you know, opening this box for the first time, and I'm going to do an unboxing here before we build that, I couldn't believe how good these parts actually look. Now, I have done a video all about this build and where you can get that from, and I have put that up here. So just check that video out, and that'll tell you how you can get this for yourself. Alternatively, there is a link in the video description to the Agora Models website. You can get this all the way from pack 1. Now, pack 1 is what we've actually got here. So let me show you what's in the box. And there you go. That's everything that you get in pack 1. So I will go into detail of what you get in each stage here, but we do have this brochure here, which I'm going to go through first. And as you can see, Optimus Prime, fully licensed by Hasbro there, with a little bit of detail about what we're actually building here. Now, the good thing about this brochure guide, if I turn this over, it does tell you all about the Agora Promise and the Agora Advantage Club on the back, but it also tells you exactly what this model does. And probably best on the top camera here, because this is absolutely massive. As you can see there, total specs there, look, it's 780 millimeters high, 380 millimeters wide, and it weighs 11 kilograms. It's going to be a heavy beast, this one is. It does have full articulation. The lights light up on the chest and the head, the jaw moves. It's just got absolutely loads of different things here. I'm going to try and read these off for you. It's a self-supporting model, but an exclusive display stand featuring characteristic Cybertronian terrain is also available. The hands and fingers are articulated so they can grip and point and clench. Wheels rotate with some resistance so they feel like they're connected to an axle inside. Tyres are high quality soft rubber. We have got some internal parts, including brake disc assembly and suspension system parts. We've got 2 coloured lights on the toes with blinking effect. I mentioned the jaw moving. Well, the faceplate does move in sync with his speech. 4 yellow shoulder lights simulate the dipped and full beam. The chest vents have detail visible through the vents, simulating a real vehicle radiator. The illuminated matrix of leadership. In 2 versions, one is removable, hidden behind a matrix chamber door. The second is slightly bigger to be held aloft in an iconic pose. And it does come with sound, including Optimus Prime phrases, sound effects, and music clips. And as you can see there, this is over 600 pieces. Now, in the first pack, there's 3 trays, and in the first tray, you do get your own screwdriver. I will be using my own PHO screwdriver, but if you haven't got a screwdriver, you're definitely going to need one. You're also going to need some CA glue, because you are going to be gluing some parts on this. But let me show you this. Just like normal Agora models builds, we do have a poster, but this poster is slightly different. This one, as you can see, is absolutely ginormous. I can only get it on the screen here. Whoa. And it's so big that I need to let you know this is to scale. So this is how big your Optimus Prime is going to be when it's finished. Can you believe that? How cool is that? But it's 78 centimeters tall. It's going to be an absolute monolith in the workshop. So I can't wait to get this built. But let's have a look what's in each tray. So check this out. This is the first tray. As I said, it comes in 3 trays in this pack. And in this tray, we have pretty much everything for the head. We've got some servos and we've got motors in there as well, and a battery box, lots of electrics. This is what is in the second tray in this pack. All metal. And again, you can see that colour scheme there with that metallic blue that looks like that. And then in the third tray, we're starting the chest, and that looks just like that. This is going to be great. But without further ado, here we go. Let's get cracking. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to be assembling the head, and we're going to need a couple of bits to start that off with. Okay, so the first 2 parts we need look just like this. We've got this piece here, and we've got this blue piece here. Now, this blue piece has got a metallic side, and it's got a back side which has got the injection kind of molding piece on. We just need to make sure that the side that's showing is going in like that. Now, this is going to be held in with a tiny bit of glue. So I have got the glue already out and prepared here. I'm just going to put some glue just in this channel That should be enough. And put these pieces together. So we then need this metal piece here, and this is a brilliant example of the blue colour of the Optimus Prime. That looks excellent. What we've just created is actually just going to go into that first metal lug there. So it's going to go on kind of like this. I'm just going to get this lined up. There you go. And it sits in just like that there. Now at the bottom of this piece here, we've got this piece here with these little yellow and red spheres on. That's going to be going into the bottom just like this here, and it's fitting in the channel just in the middle like that. We do want to glue this into place. So again, I've got my glue out. I'm just going to put that on here. Being very careful to ensure that I'm putting the glue in the right place. And I'm holding that into place there. So as you can see from that side, it looks like that. We do have a grill to put over the top of this. And that looks just like that. And that's going to be going into the holes of the piece we've just put in. We do want to just drop some glue just on the lugs here. What I'm going to do is just put them where they're going on this piece. And then push this into place. And that's perfect like that. And that's now what that's looking like. So we're then going to be taking the side headpiece here, which looks like that. Again, look at that colour. Absolutely love it. And what we've got is this indent in the top of this piece. That's going to go onto the two lugs here. We're going to be screwing this in. So let's push this in to place. As you can see, it fits quite flush in there. And this is the first time we're actually going to be using some screws. So we're going to be using 2 times TR131 screws. Now these are the only screws that come in this pack. And I am going into metal. So I'm going to put that in a tiny bit of oil just to help drive these screws in. So one this side. And one on the other side. So that now looks just like that. Now this assembly is actually labelled as B, this whole assembly. We can put that to one side because we're going to work some electrics now. And for that I need this motor looking like that. This tiny head for the motor. And a mount to hold that all in. So what I'm going to do is take this head of the motor and just push this on the top. So it fits flush in there like that. And then this whole thing eventually is going to go through this part just here. Now I've just taken this off while I put the side panels of the motor together, and they look just like this, 1 and 2. So one is going to go on that side just there, and then push the other one just on the other side over here. So as you can see, that clamps all of those into place. Now the good thing about this is you can see it can slide on this bracket now like that. All you need to do then is take 2 black screws that you'll find in tray 2 to hold these parts together. Now the way they've got it in the instructions is that the plug end of the motor should be in the opposite end of the bracket here. So that should look like that. Again, we can put that to one side. A couple more bits we're going to be putting together now, which is really iconic. The faceplate and the diffused light, which is going to go behind it. So put this into place here, but we do want to glue this into place. So you want to put some glue just at the end of the pins here. So a little bit there, a little bit at the end of that pin, and a little bit at the end of that pin. That's going to keep this inside. As you can see, you have got some indents on this there, and that's what's going to hold this into place. Just like that. My screwdriver to push that down and let that just set in place. While I'm doing that, I have got the back bracket that's going on the back of this. This is what's going to house the lights to light these up. So that's just going to go this way on top. Now we're not gluing any of this into place. That's going to stay exactly as it looks at the moment. But I have got 2 bracket arms to go into place. They're just going to go on this way. I think they are labelled 1 and 2. So number 2 that I've got here is going in this side, and number 1 is going to go on the other side. Okay, I'm going to turn this piece over now, because we've got 2 really iconic bits that are going to go into the front, and they look just like this for the mask. These little brackets we put in, they're actually going to go into the holes that we can see here on this side. So it's a case of lining them up and pushing these in, so they fit in just like that. Now when this mask moves, as you can see, the jaw moves behind it like that. You can see how this is going to torque now. Once again, hold this in with 2 of the black screws from tray 2. We can put that to one side, because we've got some more parts to assemble now, quite larger than what we've been working from. We've got this ball joint here, and on top of this, on the spherical end, we've got this rubber cap. That's going to be like a friction joint now. That's on top. And then either side of that, we've got these brackets to go on. One this side, and then one on the other side here. And then once again, we're going to be putting some screws in here. But these are going to be held with nuts on the other side just here. Now you'll find the screws for this in tray 2, just underneath this section here. And they look like that. So I'll get this in, long screw through this side, and then a nut onto the other side, and then screw that into position. And do the same on the other side. Probably easier to put the nut in first actually. Then hold it with your finger, and then put the screw in the other side. Now I am going to make this quite tight, because we do want movement, but we don't want too much movement in there. As you can see, it's quite tight in there for the movement. Now I also have this little piece here, which is going to be going into the same size as the head of the screws. This is just going to push into there. So that looks like that. I can now place this part to one side and get out the cable that looks just like this. Get this unraveled. And I like to take the kinks out of this. And I'm going to plug one end of this into what we created first, just into the pins here. I also need the other cable, which has got the LED lights on. So let's get the wire off for these. And that's going to screw to the inside of the headpiece that we created here. So make sure the LEDs are facing down, and it's going to go in this way, just like this. Once again, that's held in one of the black screws. Now we want to bring this part back over again. Make sure you put that little spindle in the end of the motor. Don't forget that. That's all in there. Bring over the faceplate we got here, and I'm just going to be merging these 2 points here into the mask. So one in this side and one in this side. So that sits just like that. We can just put all of this part now to one side. Couple more details to make. We're going to be taking these 2 parts together here now, looking like that, making sure that this slot here is going into that slot just here like that. Turn that round, and then this is going to be attaching to the side of the mask or head that we've just been creating. Now to line this up, this hole just at the top here is going to be going into that hole just there. So if I just line that up to give you an idea, it's going to fit on just like that there. At the same time, we just want to make sure that the 2 lugs that we've got here on the side of the jaw are just going to go into these 2 holes just here. So I'll get this lined up and put this on, and there you go. That's how that's going to fit into position. Once again, that's going to be secured in with the screws that we had in the first stage. There you go. That's looking pretty good. Now, the jaw is now locked into place because the motor's controlling that. We will be able to test that shortly. But we have got to put on the other side of the head here. And that looks just like this. It's the complete opposite of what we've just put on there. So, putting it in exactly the same way. So, it'll fit in the side just like that. And again, we're going to be using the screws that came in pack 1. So, that is now what the head's looking like. We're going to tidy these cables up now. So the one coming from the top is going to go round this bend into this little channel here, like that. And then round the other one here as well. Tweezers will help you here to get them all in. Just going to push that a little bit tighter. There we go. And do the same with the other cable. Now the other cable is going to go through this top section here and then come out the side here. I'm just getting that in. So you can see that from the top. Let me get the kink out there. So it looks like that from the top. And in the same way, it's going to be going into the joints here. So that looks just like that. And as you can see, the articulation now is pretty good. I now want to hold all of these parts together with one of the screws from tray 2 that we're working on, which goes through this side here. Then we've got the nut, which is going into the other side, and screw these together. We can put the head to one side now because we've got some more parts to put on. Again, check out that metalwork. I love that. Look at that. And we've got some silver brackets that we're going to be putting onto this. We're just going to be putting them so that these plugs at the end are going to go through the hole. So one's going to go on this side like this, and the other one exactly the same way, just on the other side. And what that's going to do, it is going to give that effect from the front. Now we do need to glue these into place. So I've got some glue here, and I'm going to put them on the pins just in the middle there. That's excellent. Now this is going to go on the back side of the head. So it's going to be fitting over the 2 lugs each side, or the 2 holes, should I say. So I'm just pushing that into position. One that side. It's already lined up on this side. And we've got 4 times TR132 screws to put in each side. Now these are the black screws. We're then going to be taking this awesome part, look at that we created at the start of this. And this is going to be going onto the top here. So this is the top of the head. Putting that into position. So look at that looks excellent. And again, these are going to be held in with these black screws. 4 again on the side. And at the moment, that's looking just like that. I love it. Okay, we're going to be bringing up the next tray now. We've already taken some parts out of this looking like that. And I need a couple of things here, which I'm just getting out, that look like this. And I'm going to be piecing all of these parts together. Now, these 2 are metal, and this back piece is plastic. So basically, the way this is going to go, this one's going to go on here like this. And this is going to be glued into place. So what I need to do, as you can see, if I just take this out, we have got some lugs in there. I'll put some glue on those lugs. Then I can push that in. Perfect. And this other side here, if you can see, it's got a locating lug in there. And that's going to go in just like that. So now we've got that into position, we can bring over the head again. And this one's going to be going on this side. What we need to do is just put this over the top of here so we can see the screw hole for this through Optimus Prime. Just getting that lined up like that. And then that's held in with one of these black screws. And that's going in there. I do like how the screws are laid out for this, even though I made that little error. You're either using silver screws or black screws. That's it. So that's in position just like that. We're going to be doing exactly the same on the other side. So, once again, I'm just going to put some glue just on the lugs here. Push this into position here. Just like that. Then this part here is just going to go on top. Just line up the little hole so it fits flat like that. And then once again, this is going to be going onto the side of Optimus's head. There you go. And screwed in with one of the black screws. Check that out. That's looking brilliant. I love it. Now on the front, where you can see we've got 2 holes just above his eyes. We've got the visor. This is in pack 1, or tray 1 should I say. And that looks just like that. I'm going to put the visor on. Now this is going to be held on with a little bit of glue. So once again, Just want to be careful where I'm putting the glue. Just put it in the lugs here. One there. And one on this side. And then we can push this visor into place. It goes around this way. And fits on just like that. That looks excellent. Now we've got some side pieces to put in each side here. These are in tray 2. So they look like that. I'm going to need my sprue cutters. First time had to use those. Let's get these off. And I also need these grills here as well. Let's get these cut off. Just going to take off any uneven surfaces on here with my sander. Looking good. And then once again, I'm going to drop some glue just into these holes here. One there. And one on this side. So I can drop one of these yellow discs in here. It does go a certain way. As you can see, we've got a large and small hole here for that to fit in, just like that. And do the same on the other side. All we're going to do then, a bit more glue on top of this. We're just going to put some glue just onto the top of this part here, like this. Then this is directional, so it can only go in one way. We're going to be putting the grill over the top like that. So then that now looks like that. Going to do exactly the same on the other side. And there you go. That's how he's starting to look. And we can put that to one side, because now we're going to start assembling the chest. It may be worth pointing out that in tray 1 we do get a screwdriver with the nice red handle. We do get the battery box, which takes, by the look of it, 4 AA batteries, and we do get a little circuit board looking just like that. Now I've opened up tray 3 here. This is what everything in there looks like. We're going to need these parts first, so I'm going to take these out and cut these off the sprue. Now in the third tray we've got loads of these LED lights. This is what I'm going to need now. And what I'm going to do is take the plug end of these. I'm going to push that through this piece so it comes out the other side. I'm then going to be folding this into position so it locks into place just there. Kind of like that. Hopefully you can see that. I can put that to one side because I've got some more lenses to make now. So I need to take these off the sprue and then take the surrounds for them, which look like that. And basically we're just going to be putting these together so they go in. Let me get one in. And they're looking like that from that side, and they're flush from that side. I'm going to make all 4 of these up. I'm then going to take the other side of these lights, and I'm going to apply some glue just to the shafts of these pins here. 1, 2, and that one's 3. I'm going to put one side of the headlight in here. Probably best to do this upside down actually. And then the other side with the light is going to go into the other side here. Now I have put some glue just on the side of that LED just to keep that into position where I want it, just there. It'll just make it easier when I'm closing this up. So now that looks just like that. We've got a cap just to put over the end there. These are on sprues, so I'll get these off. And again, these are going to be glued into place. So I'm going to put a ring of glue just around the edge of this detail. And these are shaped to fit. So put this on this side. Hold it for a second. And there we go. That's one of these completed. I'm going to be doing that 3 more times. Okay, now I've done that, I'm going to be putting these headlights into these brackets here. Now these clips are going to go into the whole of the cable. So what I'm going to do is just line them up this way round and push this into position. So they clip in like that. Do the same on the other one. And they should look just like that. Now I want to take the frame which is labelled down the bottom there as number 1. Because we're going to be putting these lights into position. So they're going to go into those 2 points that we can see just at the top. I am going to drop just a little bit of glue in those. And get these pushed in. And they're on just like that. I now want to route these cables around the side here. So the way these are going to route through is we want to put these wires, make sure that they're bending inwards like this. I'm just going to hold them into position there for a second. Because I'm going to put this bracket on now, which looks like that. That's just going to go on the inside here to trap those wires between it, if you can check that out. They're going to be held in with 2 of the black screws. Again, make sure this wire is around the outside, so it's coming like that there. And now I've got a cap to put over that, and that looks just like this. Again, I just want to put some glue just onto the little lugs that you can see there. And we want it this way round so the wires can come out through the gap there. And push that into position. And there you go. So it's looking like that from the back. And that from the front. Now, I've got some neodymium, I think that's what they're called, magnets here. Oh, these are strong. They're going to be glued into positions on these 2 points here. So once again, I'm going to put some glue just into these channels to get this into place. Now we must remember that what this is going to attach to make sure the polarity is right, so they don't repel each other when we're putting them in. But I'll get these ones in first. It doesn't really matter too much on this side. Separating them's the hardest bit. And one just in the bottom there, like that. And now I'm going to put this on this fascia that looks like this. This is metal. I think this is great. This is just going to be dropping into position here. So it all matches up, making sure everything's slotted into place. That looks good. And it's going to be secured from this side with some silver screws. And when that's in, that should look just like that. I'm now going to be making the window. So I've got the frame here. And I've got some glass to go into position. There is a little notch at the bottom of the glass which is going to help you to locate this into position. You can probably see the notch just down the bottom there. Once I've got that in, I'm going to be putting this into the front of this chest piece. And clip it into position. So 1, 2. So that's in like that. And in the hole just at the front there, we've got a little windscreen wiper to put on. These are on a sprue. I just want to do a dry fit to see how this looks. There you go. And you can glue that into position. It holds quite well though, so I'm going to leave it mine just like that there. Now on the side here, we've got a side window to put on, which looks just like this. That's just going to go into the cavity that we've got there. Now this does stick in. So what we've got to do is take off this adhesive on the side. Just like this. And put that into place. So it should fit flat in there. And look just like that. And then I've got the frame for this. Which I'm just cutting off the sprue now. And some glass, which is here. Put the glass in the frame here, just like that. And then this is going to clip in on top of those pieces there. So it looks just like that. And then we're going to do exactly the same thing on the other side of the chest piece. And as you can see, that's that one into position as well. So we've done both of these now. And they look just like that. That's actually everything to do in those trays. So we do get the choice now to actually power it on. And I'm sure that's what you've all been waiting for. So let me get some batteries and we'll check everything works. So I've got some batteries here. Let's just put that to one side. And we'll put all the batteries into the battery box. Got 4 batteries here. These are brand new. plug the top of this into the circuit board or the control board here, making sure it's round the right way. There you go. So it's got power. So if I plug this left lead in, which is the bigger of the plugs here, this should illuminate the lights. I might have to turn the lights down for you to check that, but here we go. Let's put this in. Oh no, that's the jaw. Check that out. I did the jaw first. Wow, that looks brilliant. Okay, and obviously that's going to move to simulate the talking when he's actually talking. The smaller lead here, which I'm about to plug in, is the lights. Let's get them in. Just like that. And I don't know if you can see them lit up like that. Let's turn the main light off. There you go. That looks brilliant. Okay, so the head works. Let's just check the lights. So again, individually, I can check each one individually. So if I plug this one in here, as you can see, one of the headlights there comes on. And then I can do the same with the one next to it. And that one's come on, as you can see. And do the same on this one. If I have to run this one round the right way, put this in. Whoops, wrong way. That one, so that light works. And then finally, there's the last light. So all the electrics are working as well. So what do you think of that? Wow, what an amazing first pack. And this is, oh wow, this is completely, I'm speechless. It's completely, I had what I thought this might look like, and this has exceeded those expectations big time. But that is what the Optimus Prime head is looking like. And from behind, I like that. You can see by the smile on my face on this. And then obviously we've got the chest pieces here, which look just like that. Well, hey, so once again, if you want to get this for yourself and you're as impressed as I am, then I have put the link down in the bottom there for the Agora Models website, and you can get this all the way from pack 1. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.